What's up guys, Noah here. Back in the glorious year of 2003, there was a gaming company that was reigning supreme that specialized in making video games that were based on TV shows and movies. That video game company was none other than THQ, now known as THQ Nordic after filing bankruptcy because their games weren't really the best, but that's besides the point. Early 2000s was a gold mine for THQ games because they made anything into a video game. They got the rights to a lot of franchises like SpongeBob, Very Odd Parents, Ice Age, SpongeBob again, Danny Phantom, SpongeBob for a third time. Are you seeing a trend here? Now, a lot of these games were just basic 3D platformers that they just took the franchise and just shoved it into. They didn't really have any cohesion to it. And it was more or less just mediocre games that they're like, hey, take it. Except for one game, for no reason whatsoever, just was amazing. The game I'm obviously talking about is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. For some reason, this game was just great. There was nothing more to it. It was just a very, very fun SpongeBob game. Basically, you're just playing as your favorite characters from a very beloved TV show, and you're beating up robots because Plankton was just like, dude, I flipped the wrong switch and I fucked up. And then SpongeBob's like, I got you, Chief. This was one of, if not my favorite game from the entire GameCube era. And that's saying a lot because the GameCube era had some glorious games. But this stands out as one of my favorites. I put a crap ton of that game when I was a kid. And I also really, really wanted to see an HD remake of it. Then one day, we get this trailer.
I'm ready!
Out of nowhere, I'm like, oh yeah! SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. The trailer released and I was super hyped for it, and then another trailer with like 10 minutes of the gameplay came out and I was just even more hyped, and then finally the game came out like a month back and I couldn't have been happier. I was super excited for this game because I loved the game on the GameCube, and this looked like a very well done HD remake of that beloved game. I was so hyped for this game to come out that even back in January, I downloaded an emulator on my laptop just to play the original because I may or may not have lost the disc and I just have the case to remember it by, but that's besides the point. The emulator works perfectly, and so I played a good like 3 worlds on that, and I haven't been able to play that much Rehydrate because the summer has been very crazy, but I did play the exact amount that I played on the emulator, so I'm kind of doing a direct comparison here. In terms of plot and gameplay, there's nothing really different about the original and Rehydrated. It is a faithful remake of the original, and so all the concepts and all of the gameplay is more or less the same. They did change some of the designs in the game, like the tikis for instance. Here's the original and then here's the remake, and that's just like the little things of just upgrading it for the HD remake, but nothing too crazy where it's completely different from the original. Now, I played the Switch version of the game, and this is a cross-platform game, so it's available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and also PC. And so I understand that the Switch version may not be the most graphically powerful. However, I still expected a little bit more graphics from the game. I understand that it's developed by THQ Nordic and not like, let's say, Nintendo, so it's not looking like Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, but I really wish it did. I wish it looked a little bit better. Some of the graphics could just be improved, and I've seen some of the footage from the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC versions. They also kind of look not the best. You can kind of see some of the polygons, and it's like, But graphics isn't everything. Gameplay is what you play the game for. So, how does it play? It plays beautifully. On the Switch, I love it. I picked up the controller and I just felt back in 2003 again because it just felt so real. It just felt like you took the game and you put it on the Switch. which isn't the best situation either. I know I'm contradicting myself a lot in this video, but you have to understand I was super hyped for this game to come out. I played the original so much as a kid. I have so much nostalgia of playing with my brother, trying to beat all the robots, and it was just so iconic to me. And when it was coming out, I just couldn't believe it. If I didn't have the nostalgia in me, I'm not sure if I would like this game. If you didn't grow up with Battle for Bikini Bottom, then it's not a terrible game to pick up. It's only $30 and you're not gonna be disappointed, but I don't think you're gonna like it nearly as much as the people that originally played it. And I think the people that originally played it wanted something a little bit more, like let's say Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. Nintendo took the original Legend of Zelda Wind Waker from the GameCube and built it from the ground up. They didn't just up the resolution just to put it on the Wii U. No, they built it from the ground up, and it was glorious. It is the definitive way of playing Wind Waker. And that came out on the Wii U. This is the Switch. It is more powerful, but it just doesn't feel that good. I already mentioned that it's not going to be as graphically powerful as Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. It's not going to be as powerful as a AAA title. It's THQ Nordic. It's like, come on, they're not even THQ anymore. Expectations weren't super high. I mean, they were, but not really. But I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that we wanted a little bit more from this game. It just feels like they took the original game and they just put it on the Switch. This is what the Switch version would look like, and this is the Switch version that we got. It's pretty loyal, mostly to the original, especially with the original graphics and just the original gameplay. There's nothing really more to it than a port. Something else that they added in the game is an online multiplayer, which for actually no reason runs extremely well. It runs better than Smash, it runs better than Mario Maker Online. It is by far one of the cleanest connections I've ever had on the Switch for an online game. Now, if you've ever played this game or seen gameplay, you might be wondering how the heck can you have an online version of this game, an online multiplayer game? What would they do? Basically, they just had a basic boss rush where you're just defeating more robots that just come in waves, and that's it. But still, it's pretty fun. It may go on a little too long for my liking. It was like a good 40-minute match, and I was like, bro, I thought this would be kind of like quick matches, not just 18,000 waves of robots. But it's a decent online multiplayer that's just thrown in there. So if you played the original back in 2003 and you're still debating on whether or not you should pick this up, you should pick it up. It's half the price of most games, and it'll probably go on sale in the next few months, and it's a pretty decent game. I know, again, I contradicted myself plenty of times and I've insulted and complimented this game, but it's a pretty fun time. It's maybe not the ideal game that we all wanted, but it is what it is, and I can appreciate that. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, 4 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've played the original or the remake or any THQ game from the early 2000s that you like, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear it. Let's have a conversation. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.